Hello everyone, and welcome to Caroline's Craft Tree. Today I am outside on my porch. My camera is being held, so hopefully it's not too jiggly. And I just wanted to show you my setup and how I tea dye my doily paper. So I have my tea mixture, and it is quite strong. And then in that little dish is a whole bunch of different sprays. Shimmer Mist, Tattered Angels, there's some Tim Holtz inks of some kind, a big bottle of tea and whatnot. And it's all diluted with water, either half and half or 1/4 of the color to 3/4 water. I also use fabric dyes, alcohol inks, etc. And then I just have one of those little plastic tables that you get at like Canadian Tire or something. And it's not very big. So I can do 12 pages at a time with the little setup that I have here. But they dry really quick. The two big trays, I put papers on them and then set it off to the side. This tray here, for whatever reason, the paper sticks to it. So I just have this piece of stuff on the top, and that stops it from sticking. Sorry, the sun's probably creating some pretty bad shadows. And then the trays, I set the trays, I put one on top of the cooler, and then I put one over there on the bench. That enables me to do the dozen papers at a time. And then I just use a lawn chair to hang my doilies on. I have a variety of plastic doilies. These ones here are my favorite. They work really, really good. Down here I have a cloth one, that greenish color, which does not work. I've never had success with cloth. I've got some there. And then I've got a whole bunch just hanging here. I've got them from a variety of places, thrift stores. These big gold and white ones I got online, like Amazon or somewhere like that there. They come from China, and they work, but not as good as I like. And then behind me is where I have my paper that I'm going to tea dye. And I'm just going to try and back up to give you a good view of the little setup. Now, it's not a very big work area, but it does work. And because I'm holding my camera, I can't just do everything while I'm holding it, but I'll do things in little stages to give you a good idea of what's going on. Here's a few pages that I did already. So the color, depending on what I spray on top, that kind of gives it the intensity of the color, and of course how much I spray on. But I'll do a little bit of a detailed video of papers after, but this is the effect that I'm getting with what I'm doing. So I've got my 12 pages here, because I will put 12 pages in my tea water. And I just put the 12 of them in there, and I just push them into the tea like so. Process actually goes fairly quick. It will take a little bit longer just because of the fact that I'm only using one hand at this moment in time. I really hope that I'm keeping the camera still enough and not making you seasick. By the time I get the 12 in there, they're ready to come out. I don't worry about how long they've been in there, whether they just get dipped in there and come right back out. Does just as good of a job. Okay, so what I do is I put 2 sheets on each of the trays and then put a doily on top of them, and then I move them off to the side there. Then I will put 8 papers onto the table and put doilies on them. So I need 2 hands for that, so I will come back as soon as I get that done. Okay, so I've got the papers onto the trays. I got 2 and 2, and I just put a plastic doily on the top of each of them. Now this is this Radiant Rain spray, and it's a copper color. So I'm just going to shake it. And now I'm just going to spray some on top. And of course, how much you spray depends on how much color you want. The sprayer's not working really great, but that's okay. Coming out in more little blobs, but that's okay. So then I have these foam brushes, and I don't always do this. This is kind of an option, and I'll just go on top and brush it on. It kind of moves the color around a little bit. And you can't really see the color a lot. The sun is really kind of harsh. So now I just move these off to the side. Okay, so I've got my 8 papers on my table that I had put in the tea dye. Really hope that it shows up with the sun shining through the doorway like that. So then I just reach over here and I get whatever doily I want to put on. It's really hard doing this one-handed. So now I'm going to put that on, and I just push it down just a little bit. Now that one there is a half of one, so I'm going to put this other half on this side. And again, just pat it down. A lot of these bigger oval ones will go across 2 papers. And again, I just push it down. Sorry, that gives a lot of shade. And I just make sure that there's a doily on top of each of them. You can use stencils and all kinds of things. A little spider going across my paper. Okay, and then back over here, grab another one. I don't worry about cleaning mine off. If color runs from the previous color, that's totally fine. I do try to get the doily fairly flat, but I don't panic too much. Okay, what color do we have? Let's, pick something from, actually there was a red one I wanted to try. Well, let's do this green. Now this is a shimmer mist that is diluted. So let's shake it up. Should be a nice green color, and spray it on. This one I'm just going to go around kind of where the big holes are on it. I want to just see what that does. And you can go darker in some spots and just light in others. But it does just give that little bit of color onto your paper. Okay. Now I'm going to just do a little experiment here. And this one is covered with the green. I'm going to brush this side after dipping my foam brush in. And I'm not going to do this one, because then we'll see how much of a difference it makes after the paper is dry. And the same with this one. Let's just do that side brushing, because also the different doilies do make a big difference. Do that one there. That one there I'm going to leave. And this one here that has the two pieces, I'm going to brush this side and not the other side. So there we have the 8 pieces on the table, and 1 tray and 2 trays. So I will come back when I'm done, when it dries, and we'll see what we've got. It takes about, I usually leave them half an hour, 45 minutes, and they're usually dry because it is pretty warm out here. Okay, be back. Okay, everybody, it's been about an hour. The paper's been dry for a while, but I've just been busy doing other things, so you can see. And then I've got my 2 trays sitting there now, just to make it easy to grab. So on this one, if you remember, we sprayed it, and on the one side, we brushed it. I think we brushed this side and didn't this side. Now, as you can see, there's not a lot of difference, but this one made the color more even over the whole paper. But all in all, it's a pretty good design in there. And I'm not too worried if they're perfect, because they don't need to be perfect. These ones have like a little bit of the greenish tinge, because we did spray them with a greenish paper. And then we've got some of the other ones. This one here I sprayed a little extra in the middle. And I think you can see right there the shine, or the shimmer that it has in the middle. So it just gives that little extra. I always love how they turn out. This is one of the cheap doilies that I got from Amazon, some online place. I've had them for a while. And they do an okay job. Not quite as good as the other ones that I do. Here's one of the... And you can see where that little bit of copper kind of blotched on, which makes it look just fine. And another one. And again, you can see the little bits of copper type color that didn't spray out quite like it should have. But all in all, they turned out good. Just say, here, I'll show you one of my favorite ones. These are my favorite doilies, which I got at a yard sale type thing a couple years ago. And they give such a nice design on the paper. So I really like that the holes are bigger. So you get a little better design if you've got bigger holes. So anyways, that's how I do my tea-dyed doily papers. I really like doing the colored ones, but you can do them just with tea dye. When I do the tea-dyed ones, I dip them, then I put the doilies on top, and then I brush tea again on top of them. So give it a try, see how they turn out. The hardest part is finding the plastic doilies or tablecloths. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.